And we welcome you folks live here at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Todd Ryan, along with Bill McCulloch from 520 Sports. It is the 1A Boys Basketball Championship, and we are here to give you the live audio/radio broadcast version of this event tonight between the St. David Tigers and the Fort Thomas Apaches. Bill McCulloch, on paper, this is going to be a tough game for the Tigers, but the Tigers have been playing really, really well as of late.
They sure have, and they're peaking at the right time. I mean, this is the time to play your best, and they've gone all the way through the playoffs, Todd, until this championship game here this afternoon at the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum, longtime home of the Phoenix Suns. Each team's getting their starting lineups announced here, and we'll just give you a quick rundown. St. David, 24-11 overall. They are a 10 seed in the AIA playoffs, averaging 57 points a game. And then the Fort Thomas Apaches out of Graham County, they are 32-5. I don't know, Todd, how you play 37 games in a season. That's quite a bit. But they are a high-powered offense. They average 72 points a game. Subsequently, St. David only averages 57. A 15-point difference that they're going to have to make up. Now, they did play in the regular season on January 20th at Fort Thomas, and the Apaches won 64-47 over the Tigers. So, like Todd said, they're going to have to bring their A game, but it can be done. I mean, there's just several times, whether it's high school, college, professional, where you see a lower seed team knock off a top seed, Fort Thomas being the number one seed in 1A. So ready to get going in just a few minutes. They're finishing up the starting lineups here at the Coliseum, and we'll be ready to roll with the 1A state playoff game.
All right, thank you so much, Bill. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our presenting live sports sponsor, SSVEC, serving our community. SSVEC, proud supporters of youth athletics in Cochise County. Vista Pros. Today's live sports coverage brought to you by the good folks at Vista Pros Heating and Cooling, proud supporters of our local athletes and the community we call home. Vista Pros, local, reliable, professional. Seniors helping seniors. Their caregivers are seniors themselves. They show up ready to exceed expectations. Check them out at southernarizonaSHS.com or call 520-487-4246. Thanks again to Desert RV in Huachuca City, aiming to build a community that surpasses RVs by giving back through local youth sports sponsorships, veteran support, and community fundraising events. Go to desertrvcenter.com. Stan Greer Millworks, Southeastern Arizona's premier supplier of custom doors and windows, with a distinguished history spanning 40 years, with offices in Tucson and in Hereford. Discover more at stangreermillworks.com. Pass on a legacy with Stan Greer Millworks. Big thank you as well going out to Ed Morse Automotive Group, Sierra Vista. Stop in today and experience the difference. Cochise County is now backed by Morse. American Southwest Credit Union, fired up to cheer on our hometown athletes. We believe youth sports build character and the kind of community spirit that makes us proud. At American Southwest Credit Union, your money stays local. Member NCUA, equal opportunity lender. If you're just joining us, it's St. David versus Fort Thomas in the 1A Boys Basketball Championship game. I'm Todd Ryan along with Bill McCulloch, and the starting lineups underway right now.
Finishing up the Fort Thomas roster. A lot of fans here from both Fort Thomas and, of course, St. David. So a nice crowd here at the Coliseum. This is a very large arena, and I would say it's probably between a third and half full for the fans from Southeast Arizona. Graham County versus Cochise County tonight, 1A state boys basketball final game.
A big thank you to Prestige Remodeling and Restoration, LLC, Sierra Vista, pioneering a visionary approach of customer-centric service. Visit them at prestigesierravista.com. TWN Communications, delivering high-speed, affordable, and reliable internet and digital phone service with no data caps ever. Stay connected with the freedom and performance you deserve. Sonic of Sierra Vista, Wednesdays is Wacky Pack Wednesday. Kids meals are $2.49, and Thursdays is 99-cent corn dogs. Sonic of Sierra Vista, a proud supporter of Cochise County sports. A big thank you to Duran Plumbing, serving Sierra Vista and Cochise County for residential and commercial plumbing projects for 10 plus years. With a lifetime of experience in the industry, proud supporters of local sports programs and athletes at Duran Plumbing. The Sherry Ethel team at Long Realty, proud to support our young athletes all season long. If you're in the market to buy or sell, make your first call to the real estate experts, the Sherry Ethel team.
So both squads finished up getting introduced, and we'll have the national anthem coming up shortly, and then we'll be ready to tip off for the 1A state championship for boys basketball.
Is that the Tigers on that side? And here we are, folks. There is your St. David Tigers. We're going to soon have to, unfortunately, go to the audio broadcast portion as the NHS Network has the video rights to this game. We've got a few more sponsors to thank, Bill, before we get into our broadcast. Grasshopper Landscaping, quality from the ground up. Contact Grasshopper Landscaping for all of your landscaping needs. Copper Queen Community Hospital of Cochise County. Their new physical therapy department now open in Hereford. Ginger's Title Services of Sierra Vista, located at 999 East Fry Boulevard, and now open Saturdays 9 to 2. Allo Fiber, your new home teen internet, TV, and phone provider. Visit allofiber.com. Thank you to Sierra Toyota, They want to buy your car, truck, or SUV. Get your vehicle appraised in 30 minutes or less. No vehicle will be turned away. Sierra Toyota, locally owned, community driven. Barnett's Towing and Barnett's Propane, serving our community since 1963. Vinny's Pizza of Sierra Vista, serving the community for 45 years with great pizza wings, and sandwiches. Proud to support our live stream coverage. And a big thank you to Eagle Plumbing, providing expert service in Cochise County for over 50 years. Family owned and trusted for everything from leaks to major repairs. They're just one call away. Eagle Plumbing, proud supporters of local sports. And Bill McCulloch, we're ready to start this game.
What an exciting time in high school sports right now. The state championships of basketball. 1A, most schools 1A, meaning that they have a smaller enrollment, but I'll tell you, their heart is just as big as a 5 or 6A or open division athlete. So be ready for some good action. Like we said before, St. David, probably to be successful, Todd, is going to have to slow down the Apaches. The high-flying Apaches, once again, averaging 72 points a game. St. David 57, so they've got to make up for that 15-point difference. And I think by slowing the game down, not letting the Apaches run will be a big key. Now, I played against both these teams when I was in high school way back when, and Fort Thomas generally, at least back when I was playing, would press you the whole game. They make your legs tired. They take the kind of the spirit out of your body. Come third and fourth quarter, your legs are usually a little sluggish when you're playing the Apaches. On the other hand, St. David, a very, very good shooting team, and they're going to need to hit a high percentage of their field goals to take this one. So we're almost ready for the opening tip here. Tigers going left to right, Apaches right to left. Tip controlled by Fort Thomas. They're going to drive to the left side into the key, up and under, and scores. And I believe the basket, no basket, they're saying. So they called a charge, or no, a traveling call on Fort Thomas. So St. David now, and there's the Fort Thomas press, like we mentioned. They're going to back it off a little bit right now as St. David crosses the timeline. 0-0 right now, St. David's first possession. They're going to go high post, turn around, drive to the middle, and the big guy puts it up and in for a Tiger basket. 2-0 Tigers. Fort Thomas back in, he's going to drive over to the elbow, kick it back out front, top of the key. 3-point attempt, it's good. So St. David comes out with a 3. And back come the Tigers. 3-2 now in favor of the Apaches. Olivar was the one that hit the 3-pointer for Fort Thomas.
And it was number 15 that scored for St. David the first points of the game, Bill.
And that's Jackson Brogan, excuse me. So St. David getting the ball in under their basket, stolen by Fort Thomas, going the other way. He's going to drive right down the middle of the lane to the right side, blocked by St. David. Nice block by the Tigers, Braden Posey, and he's a point guard. So good defense by the Tigers to take away that layup opportunity. And Fort Thomas takes it out of bounds under their own basket. That up top high, doing a little weave, the old UCLA weave. Still up at the top of the key. They're kind of daring him to shoot. St. David playing a 2-3 zone. Shot from the left elbow, no good, but an offensive rebound by Fort Thomas. And back again they come. 3-pointer off the mark by Wilson. And the basket on the cleanup off the offensive rebound for the Apaches. St. David being very deliberate, like we said. They need to slow this game down, take away the number of possessions for the Apaches, but on the back end, you've got to hit your shots if you're the Tigers. 5-2 here early in the game in favor of Fort Thomas. 5:48 and counting on the clock. St. David standing around a little bit. They need to do some movement without the ball. Drives right in the middle, off the glass too hard, and here come the Apaches. Aiden Anderson was the one that put that shot up, but just a little hard off the glass. Fort Thomas out front, out high, near half court. They're surveying the St. David defense. And drive to the left side. He was fouled on the way to the basket. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. 5-2 here early on in favor of Fort Thomas. Richardson with the foul. First free throw attempt rolls around and out, and he'll get one more. Second one, same thing, just rolled around the rim and out. St. David with the rebound. So 5-2 the score remains here with 5 minutes exactly left to go in the first quarter. 8-minute quarters here in high school basketball. St. David trying to find an opening. They've got it out front, out at the top of the key. Now they pass it over to the right wing. He thought about it, but he's going to drive instead. Little give and go inside, and the Tigers come up with a nice layup. Chase Pacheco with that basket. Fort Thomas back, top of the key. He's going to go for 3. In and out, and St. David with the rebound. So far early, Todd, St. David doing what they have to do, giving Fort Thomas only one opportunity and hitting their shots on the other end. We've got a 5-4 game here in the first quarter. St. David, top of the key. He's going to drive to the right side. He's got a little bit of room up and under. Nice recovery by Fort Thomas and stolen by Fort Thomas, but he's going to let it go out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Tigers. So fortunate turn of events there for St. David.
We've got 3:58 left in this first quarter, and yes, Bill, St. David is doing a good job of keeping this game close because Fort Thomas, at least in the last game, they beat their last opponent by, I want to say, 50 points?
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly.
So,
quick timeout by the Tigers. Tiger coach Tyler Denwith, and he might have seen something, maybe a chink in that armor of Fort Thomas, called a quick timeout. And let's see if they can take advantage of what the coach saw. It'll be St. David ball out after the timeout, and 5-4 here early in the game.
big thank you to Vista Pros, our live sports coverage brought to you by those good folks, Vista Pros Heating and Cooling, proud supporters of St. David Athletics and all of our fine athletes in Cochise County. Vista Pros, local, reliable, and professional. Seniors helping seniors. Their caregivers are seniors themselves. They show up ready to exceed expectations. Check them out at southernarizonaSHS.com. And Bill, a promising start for our St. David Tigers.
Yeah, they're going to want to keep the score in the 50s. And right now, with it being 5-4, just a little bit more than 3 minutes left to go in the quarter, their game plan is working well so far.
Big thank you to Desert RV in Huachuca City, aiming to build a community that surpasses RVs by giving back through local youth sports sponsorships like this one, veteran support, and community fundraising events. Go to DesertRVCenter.com. We thank Jeff Rose and the boys at Desert RV Center for their sponsorship. And we're ready to get underway here. Back again
Okay, apparently they gave the ball to Fort Thomas on that, so the Apaches taking it out over the timeline. 3:54 left. Top of the key, three-pointer, little short. Once again, St. David cleans up the glass and heads down court. Over to the right wing, into the big guy. He's double-teamed by Fort Thomas, and they tied him up. Let's see where the possession arrow goes. So St. David will keep possession on the alternating possessions, and kind of a break for them early, Todd. So they'll get it right underneath their own basket. Out top, it's deflected away by Fort Thomas, and on the turnover, down to the right side, layup up and no good. Ball hit out of bounds, and the Apaches will keep possession.
Got lucky on that one, Bill, because it was like it could have went either way as it was teetering on the rim of the basket.
That one just almost stood still on the rim. Apaches inbound over to the elbow. A little give and go on the backside. Misses it. And Todd, that's 4 layups that the Apaches have missed.
And that's what's got to happen throughout much of the game today if St. David has a chance of winning due to the strong offensive side of the Fort Thomas Apaches team. They're a powerhouse offensively.
Substitutions coming in for St. David.
And we want to remind folks, they're number 1 ranked. We can't forget that.
They are the number 1 seed.
Number 1
seed.
seed.
The 10th seed. But here in the championship game, you can throw all those seeds away because this is for all the marbles. Shot is up, but he traveled, took a little bit of a walk before he decided to put the ball up. Ball back over to the Tigers. I'm kind of surprised that Fort Thomas isn't really pressing much. It's kind of a pseudo press where they come up when you get the ball in bounds, and then they back off quickly. So we got a foul on the Tigers side of the half court on Fort Thomas. It's their second team foul. So 3:43 left.
Or
3:13.
Yeah.
And still 5-4, so that favors the Tigers tremendously.
And the Tigers back with the ball.
Tigers drive to the right side, kind of a floater off the glass, misses, and the Apaches clear the board, headed up the court. Down to the right baseline, he's going to put up a 12-footer off the glass and in.
He was wide open, Bill.
Nice shot.
Yep.
By the Apaches as they go up 7-4 now. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Tigers, top of the key. He's going to drive to the right side all the way. Up and in and count the basket.
Number 1.
That was a nice drive by Adrian Nürnberger. He went right down the right side. It's kind of matador defense by Fort Thomas. Put the ball up and got fouled. The ball went through the hoop, and we're going to try a three-point attempt. That could possibly tie the game if he makes the free throw.
7-6 right now. Come on.
And
he got
it over the front rim. So we got a tie game here with 2:34 in the first quarter.
7-7.
Fort Thomas trying to drive down the right side, kicks it over to the right baseline, up for 3, no good. Tigers with the rebound and a whistle. Justin Olivar with the foul for Fort Thomas. And St. David will take it out. Now it goes into the press. Fort Thomas into their full court press. And let's see how St. David handles it. Fort Thomas backs it off as St. David crosses the timeline. Dribbles to the right side. He's going to, nice job by Fort Thomas to cut off the drive. Over to the right wing, he's having a little bit of problems finding a man open. Kicks it out at the last minute, down the right baseline. Up and under for a score. That's the first St. David lead at 9-7.
And was number 11.
1:49 left to go. Braden Posey was would hit the basket for St. David, but Fort Thomas comes right back to tie it at 9.
1:33 left in the first quarter, Bill. We got a good one here.
So we got a quick whistle. I don't know what that's about. I know one of the St. David guys' tennis shoe came untied, and that might have been what it was. You don't want to get anybody hurt, Todd, so they blew the whistle and let him tie his shoe. So ball to St. David as they take it out. A minute and a half left to go here. 9-9 on the scoreboard. Drive to the right side, cut off. Now he kind of gives them a head fake. Stolen away by the Fort Thomas down the court. Oh, nice play by St. David. They had a wide open layup. And
number 11 batted it down, Bill.
Yeah, and out of nowhere.
Wow.
Braden Posey with the block. Braden saying, not today, buddy, not today. And Fort Thomas took the ball in and turned it right back over to St. David. Minute 10 left, 9-9 on the scoreboard here in the first quarter. What a tremendous game, especially St. David really working that game plan to slow the game down. Got to remember, Fort Thomas averages 20 points during the season in the first quarter. They don't even have half of that right now. Under a minute left. St. David tried to save it, but it goes out of bounds over to the Apaches. So we'll reset real quick. 44.4 seconds left to go. 9-9 on the scoreboard here in the first quarter. Apaches dribbling out top of the key. He's going to drive to the left side. And nice layup on the left hand for the Apaches. And he got fouled, so we'll do an and one situation. Connor Posey with the foul. And I'll tell you, that was a heck of a shot because Posey actually had pretty good defense on him.
11-9 now, the score, 37.5 seconds left in the first.
And hits the three-point play to make it 12-9. 38 seconds left to go. Clock running as the Tigers bring it over the timeline. Top of the key, looking for somebody to cut in the middle. St. David kind of standing around. He's going to drive to the right side, put up a off-balance shot, no good. Here come the Apaches with 16 seconds left to go in the quarter. They're going to drive, kick it out to the right wing, up for three, and drains it. Oh, what a time to hit a three-pointer. That's going to put Fort Thomas up 15-9. As the last second shot by St. David is no good. So at the end of the first quarter, the Fort Thomas Apaches 15, the St. David Tigers 9. And I'll tell you, St. David hung with them for most of the quarter, but that last minute, Fort Thomas came out and scored 6 straight points. 2 3-pointers, one the old-fashioned way, a basket and a foul shot, and just right before the quarter ended, the 3-pointer from the right wing.
And we welcome you to our audio broadcast of today's game, the championship game for 1A boys basketball. We are not able to carry the video broadcast as that is on the NHS network. You can go over there and subscribe to watch the game, but we'll do our best to capture the color commentary here with Cool FM Live. Big thank you to Stan Greer Millworks, Southeastern Arizona's premier supplier of custom doors and windows with a distinguished history spanning 40 years. Offices in Tucson and in Hereford. Discover more, StanGreerMillworks.com. Pass on a legacy with Stan Greer Millworks. Thank you to Ed Morris Automotive Group, Sierra Vista. Stop in today and experience the difference. Cochise County is now backed by Morse.
So second quarter just about ready to get underway. Like we said, St. David worked that game plan to a T until the last minute, and Fort Thomas on a quick 6-0 spurt to go up by 6. The game was tied at 9 apiece until that last minute, and now it is 15-9 in favor of the Fort Thomas Apaches.
Well, like you say, Bill, they're doing a good job at St. David of keeping this game close, because normally they've been averaging, like you've been saying, around 20 points.
They average 20 points a quarter for the first 3 quarters, and then only 11 the fourth quarter. But if you look at their schedule, they were blowing teams out, and that tells me that the reserves are in for the fourth quarter, and that's why they only averaged 11. But both teams shooting the ball fairly well. I think St. David standing around a little bit too much without the ball. And as we start the second quarter, Fort Thomas with the first possession. He's going to drive to the left side, kick it out to the left wing, three-pointer, and another three-pointer. So that's 2 3-pointers in a row from the beyond the arc for Fort Thomas, and an 18-9 lead. And a charging call on St. David as he drove down the left side. So that's not going to help. St. David's got to keep this game close. They cannot let Fort Thomas run out to a big lead. 18-9, 7:35 just starting. Another three-pointer. That one no good. Fight for the rebound, goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay down at the Fort Thomas end. They'll take it out underneath their own basket. Inbounds over to the top of the key. It's going to go down in the middle into the low post. Three-pointer from the left baseline, and he gets it. And Fort Thomas on fire. Michael Olivar with a three-pointer. Now here comes the press from Fort Thomas. St. David gets it over the timeline, breaks the top of the key, switches over to the left wing. Little give and go. He's going to drive the baseline on the left side, puts it up a little short. And Fort Thomas on the rebound, and St. David with the foul from behind on number 1, Adrian Nurnberger. So Nurnberger picks it up. And they're going to call an intentional foul. I don't know about that one, Todd. That's kind of I don't like that call.
Yeah, I suppose it's the ref's way of saying, hey, we got to keep this game, tame or whatever, and so a little oversensitive there on that call, I think.
Fort Thomas puts in the free throw with nobody on the line because of the intentional foul. He'll get one more shot.
I don't understand where that came from either.
Think that, in my mind, that was not a good call. Obviously, we're not the refs, but it just seemed a little ticky-tack. Second free throw up and good as well. So Fort Thomas 23-9, and St. David in a little bit of trouble here. There's still plenty of time, just under 7 minutes, 6:58, but they're down 23-9. They do have the ball. No, excuse me, Fort Thomas will take the ball because of the intentional foul.
Yeah, that.
So they need to make a defensive stop on this one. St. David picks up in the backcourt. Now Fort Thomas over the timeline, down to the left side. Baseline jumper for 3. Misses it, but does get the offensive rebound, puts it up and in off the glass. For the basket, 25-9 now in favor of Fort Thomas. Here comes the press again as Fort Thomas will foul. A little bit of a tripping job. Unintentional, so just a regular foul. So that's only the first team foul on the Apaches. The Tigers will take it out on the sideline right below us. Apaches backing off on the defense. St. David down in the low post. You've got the guy right there, and a nice turnaround jumper for about 3 feet, and that was a big basket for the Tigers. 25-11 now with 6:16 left. And Fort Thomas comes right back and puts the ball in the bucket themselves, 27-11. Here comes St. David on the left side up on a layup, no good, and there is a foul on the play. Let's see who's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. 6:04 left to go here in the first quarter. 27 for the Apaches, 11 for the Tigers. Elijah Tidla was the foul for the Apaches. First free throw short off the front of the rim. So it still remains 27-11 in favor of Fort Thomas. Very deliberate at the free throw line, taking his time. Second shot up and good. So 27-12. And St. David quickly calls a timeout to try to regroup. Like I said, you don't want to let the Apaches run you out of the gym, especially in the first half. But they are up by 15 right now. And a tough squad. I have not had this chance to see Fort Thomas this year. I've seen St. David a couple times. And they're all they're advertised to be. They really are. Very good coach teams coming in from Grand County.
Well, a big thank you, Bill, to American Southwest Credit Union. Got to thank our sponsors. That's what allows us to be here for this broadcast. They're fired up to cheer on our hometown athletes, the St. David Tigers. We believe youth sports build character and the kind of community spirit that makes us proud. At American Southwest Credit Union, your money stays local. Member NCUA, equal opportunity lender. TWN Communications, delivering high-speed, affordable, and reliable internet and digital phone service with no data caps ever. Stay connected with the freedom and performance you deserve. Prestige Remodeling and Restoration Sierra Vista, pioneering a visionary approach of customer-centric service. Visit them at prestigesierravista.com. Back to Bill McCullough.
So thanks for joining us on here. We are at the Madhouse on McDowell here at the State Fairgrounds in Phoenix, Arizona. Fort Thomas with the ball out top. They're going to go high post, kick it over to the right wing. He's going to go down right baseline. 2-3 zone for St. David. There's a three-pointer from the right wing, and boy, St. David is on fire with the three-pointer.
I don't know, Bill. They just can't seem to miss those three-pointers.
Channing Wilson with that three. And yeah, they are on fire from beyond the arc. 30-12 is the score. St. David now on their end of the court looking for some scoring. Tried to get slapped away. They recovered over to the right wing, back over to the middle. He's double teamed and stolen away by the Apaches on a breakaway layup. But nice defense from St. David to get back. I was impressed with that. Inside pass, up and in, score the basket and the foul. So 32-12, a 20-point lead for the Apaches, and they are at the free throw line once again trying to convert the old-fashioned three-point play. 5:09 left to go. Free throw is up and off the mark. St. David with the rebound. And down come the Tigers. 32-12, trying to get some scoring here for St. David. He's going to drive right baseline, cut off. High pass going away by the Apaches. Here they come down the right side. Three-pointer off the mark. And the whistle blew. I'm not sure what the call was.
Yeah.
I need somebody to
To her?
Connor Posey back in the game for the Tigers.
Okay.
Tigers over the timeline. Fort Thomas backs off their defensive pressure. Top of the key, looking for some cutters down low. Going to kick it over to the right, the left wing. He's going to drive 13-footer up and in. Nice basket. 14 for St. David, 32 for the Apaches. Fort Thomas down on there. And another three-point attempt from the left wing. This time it's off, but they got the offensive rebound. Put up a 14-footer, no good. Tigers come away with the ball and head down court. Got to get it over the timeline, as they do before the 10 seconds happen. St. David, top of the key, looking for somebody inside. Once again, stolen by Fort Thomas on a lazy pass by the Tigers. Oh, and that's a carry. The ball's going to go back over to the Tigers as they kind of carried the ball. And a timeout on the floor. 32-14 in favor of the Apaches. 3:49 left until the half. Timeout on the floor.
All right, Bill, I was just handed an envelope that I've got to give to someone secretly, I believe, from St. David. And I think there's a little, I'm guessing, financial support. We'll see, but I got to do this right now.
Okay. So while Todd does that, we'll just kind of recap you on it. St. David started the game trying to get that slow down offense to keep that high power offense at bay for Fort Thomas.
Was just given to us.
They did a pretty good job. It was 9-9 going into the last minute of the first quarter, and then Fort Thomas hit a three-pointer and got a basket and a foul for another 3 points, and went up 15-9 at the end of the first quarter. And this quarter, they've outscored the Tigers 17-5 to lead 32-14. Once again, 3:14 left to go here until halftime of the boys 1A title game here from the Madhouse on McDowell on the grounds of the State Fair here in Phoenix, Arizona. Todd Ryan, Bill Matella bringing the game to you.
Well, Bill, we've got 3:49 left to go here, as you're saying, in the first half. We've got, if you're a St. David fan, you got to get some points on the board before halftime to get this a little closer at the very least.
Yeah, they need to get some points, but more so they need to make some stops. And that three-pointer is just really falling for the Apaches. St. David back with the ball now, top of the key, double team by the Apaches. Three-pointer,
yes.
Listen, that's a big basket by number 25, Connor Posey.
And that's what they need to do, Bill. They need to be getting three-pointers ourselves.
They certainly do. 32-17. Three-pointer from Fort Thomas off the mark. Fight for the rebound. I think it's going to be a jump ball. Let's see what they call it. If it is a jump ball, no, they're calling a foul. I was going to say, St. David has the possession arrow, but foul on the Tigers. So a non-shooting foul, Fort Thomas taking out underneath their own basket. Out to the right baseline, over to the right wing. He's going to dribble drive, kick it out. Oh, a nice screen and an uncontested layup for Fort Thomas. Channing Wilson with the nice layup. Back comes St. David into the postman. He's going to try to back him down. Little fall away from 12, no good. And a foul on the Tigers off the rebound. So Nurnberger with the foul, his second of the game. And they're going to take him out real quick and talk it over with him. St. David under the direction of Tyler Denowith and Fort Thomas coach Matthew Dona. So Fort Thomas now at the line, shooting two, 34-17. First one rolls around and in, 35-17. 2:48 left to go on the clock, and the Apaches will get one more free throw. Second one, up and in. So 36-17, a 19-point lead for the Apaches. St. David comes down, they're over on the left side. Now up to the top of the key. He's going to drive down the middle, little up and under, puts the ball up, off the back of the rim, no good. But the Tigers with the offensive rebound, stolen away by Fort Thomas. Ball goes out of bounds. St. David thought it went out of bounds off of Fort Thomas. Fort Thomas will retain the ball, however. 2:29 left to go here until halftime. 36-17 in favor of the Apaches. Top of the key, do a little weave. He's going to hit a three-pointer off the mark for Fort Thomas, and St. David comes away with a big rebound. 2:10 and counting on the clock now as the Tigers set up their half-court offense. Little drive three-pointer from the right wing, way short, and Apaches come away with the ball. And they're going to slow it down just a bit as they go into their half-court set. Going to drive to the right side, weave around the top of the key, three-pointer, little long, and the ball goes to St. David. Tipped out of bounds by Fort Thomas, and St. David will keep control of it. You got to really watch the quick hands from these Apache defenders. Kind of a lazy pass on St. David's part on that last one. They were fortunate enough to get it back. As the Apaches pick up the defense in the back court, and St. David gets it over the timeline. Drive to the left, over to the left wing. Now he's going to bring it out to the left elbow. Dribbling down. And another intercepted pass by Fort Thomas. As their defense is a really swarming defense and very difficult. Over the timeline come the Apaches. Quick crossover dribble. Little dump off to the center, no good. Tigers with the rebound. And St. David heads up court. 1:02, 1 minute now left in the first half. 36-17. Quick inside pass and the head fake. Oh boy, I'll tell you, it looked like he got fouled from behind, but they just called it tap out of bounds. St. David will keep the ball, and they'll take it out underneath their own basket. Let's see what kind of inbound passes they have. There it is, and off the glass, up and in. So a nice basket by the Tigers. 36-19 now. 46 seconds left to go here in the first half. Fort Thomas, top of the key. They're going to try to drive to the right side, kick it out to the right wing, up for three, and 39-19 as they open up a 20-point lead. Damari Dosala with that last three for the Apaches. St. David dribbles over to the right wing. Now he's going to try to split the defense, go up on a runner, no good. So Fort Thomas brings the ball. They got a 2-on-1 break. Up and in, basket counts. They will go to the free throw line for the and one. All this with 6.6 seconds left to go in the half. 41-19. Malachi Johnson, free throw up and in. 42-19. St. David's going to have to hurry. 6 seconds left to go across half court. They're going to put it up for about 35 feet, just off the front of the rim. Had the accuracy, just not the distance. So our score at halftime, the Fort Thomas Apaches, 42. The St. David Tigers, 19.
Well, we want to thank a few sponsors before we take a halftime break and send it back to Dan the Man in the studio. Back at our Cool FM Live studios. Thank you to Sonic Sierra Vista. Wednesdays is Wacky Pack Wednesday. Duran Plumbing, serving Sierra Vista and Cochise County for residential and commercial plumbing projects for 10 plus years. The Sherry Ethel team at Long Realty. Copper Queen Community Hospital of Cochise County. Grasshopper Landscaping, Ginger's Title Services of Sierra Vista, Aloe Fiber, now available in Sierra Vista, Sierra Toyota, locally owned, community driven, Barnett's Towing and Barnett's Propane, and Vinny's Pizza of Sierra Vista, serving the community for 45 years. And a big thank you to Eagle Plumbing, providing expert service in Cochise County for over 50 years. We'll take a break, folks. We'll be back with the second half of play. I'm Todd Ryan. Stay tuned. Back to the studio here on Cool FM Live.
Prestige Remodeling Sports Trivia.
All right, 49%, 42%. Can I come back?
We got to almost think of these as like 3-point field goal percentages.
Double
so
that.
they don't feel as bad. You don't feel as bad. Hey, I'm at 49%. We're good. I'm okay.
Yeah, you're doing very well. All right, let's see it. In soccer, which country has played every single soccer World Cup? Which country has played in every single World Cup? I think I've got a... It's always a hard team. Oh, what was the? Show that one more time. What was at the bottom there? Plus one for guessing how many. Oh gosh, probably. Okay, my guess is something.
I'm not even going to try that because I don't even know how many there's been. And my guess is, it's an educated guess, but it's still a guess.
Okay, what is it?
I put Brazil.
Ooh, that's a good one. My guess is Great Britain, and I think they won something like 10 of them. Are you kidding me? Holy smokes. Okay, well, yeah. Every single World Cup?
Let's go.
Brazil, just all day, every day.
Hey, I considered how much they love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, that has to be their
I don't
thing.
know. The hooligans in Great Britain.
No, it's
man.
yeah.
They make me think they love anything. All right, what's the next one? NBA. Who is the youngest player to score 10,000 points in the NBA?
Ooh, the youngest to 10?
And guessing his age. Okay, I know this one.
You do?
I think so, yeah.
The youngest to 10,000.
And I'm guessing he was 10,000 points. And how many do you score a year, a season? Oh, I'm not going to get the exact number. So my guess is like he's 24. No, 27.
Hold on, let me do this math.
I think you got the same one. Yeah, you and I got the same one on this one. Okay, we both guessed LeBron. And my guess was 27. Why? He was 23 years old when he put up 10,000 points? Holy.
I put LeBron 22.
Dude, I put up LeBron 27. Are you kidding me? Wow. So he started when he was 19 years old.
Yeah, he was up there, man.
Boy.
One of the reasons why I honestly think he's the greatest player ever over Michael Jordan, because I grew up a Michael Jordan fan and in that era. But when you see, you can't ignore what LeBron has done scoring wise.
Sure.
When he is not a scorer predominantly.
That's
Jordan
the
was a
point.
scorer, Kobe was a scorer, but the fact that LeBron
Thank
scored
you.
more than them and more efficiently than them,
Yep.
and that's not even his best attribute,
Nope.
pushes him over the edge for me.
He's my favorite point forward of all time. I mean, I'm a fan of point forwards.
Yeah.
You give me gosh, I can name
Like
Scottie
Lamar
Pippen.
Odom,
Yeah,
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, all those guys.
I mean, Magic Johnson, of course.
Yeah.
But they put him at the point
He was
guard
point guard.
position.
But if you had LeBron back in those days, he would probably run the point.
Exactly.
So yeah, great job. Okay,
We got another one? Or is that it? Okay.
in the NFL.
What NFL team was the first to finish a season with a record of 0-16?
I know this one too. And,
I have a few guesses. It's either them or them.
8.
Which one?
All right, Dennis.
Is it?
It said 0-16.
I can't get this team out of my mind, but I think I'm gonna put it way down here. This one doesn't count.
The first team to go totally defeated. I know that one.
Oh, you mean like 16-0?
Yeah, 0-16. Yeah, but they were 0-14. So Tampa Bay was the first to go 0-14. The first to go 0-16, I believe, was Detroit in 2010.
I put the Panthers. I didn't even put it.
All right, let's see.
But I also put the Browns down here because I felt like you got it. You didn't get the year right.
Not the year right, but I do remember you remember that stretch where they picked 3 wide receivers in a row, number 1 overall, or it was like they got Charles Rogers, Roy Williams, and then they ended up with Calvin Johnson finally. But that was like it took them years and years of drafting. Matt Millen only drafted wide receivers. It was ridiculous.
Like the wide receiver is, you know who did that too was the Raiders. What was his name? The owner.
Al Davis, yeah.
Yes, he wanted receivers so bad, like that's gonna change your
James
franchise.
Jett.
They just don't.
Yeah,
he's like, give me the Rocket. He has the best nickname, Quadre Ishmael.
Oh man,
Tim Brown.
Yeah, he had some great dudes on his teams. He did have a lot of good wide receivers. Never had. I mean, he had some good quarterbacks in the '80s, but.
Well, we are back here at Veteran Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Todd Ryan along with Bill McCullough of 520 Sports. And Bill, as we were, talking here at halftime, if you're a Tigers fan, you've got to hope that the coach had one heck of a halftime rally here, speech. And this game isn't over. I mean, you can still do it. It's just that this Fort Thomas team is just so, as you were saying, relentless, I guess is the word. And they're just, I can't believe how many three-pointers they make.
Yeah, they're as good as advertised and very deserving of that number 1 seed here in the 1A state playoffs. St. David has played well, I think, up to their ability. I think the downside for the Tigers, at least in the first half, Todd, was a lot of lazy passes. I mean, you think the Apaches are headed down court on defense, and they'll turn around and sneak right by where you try to make a pass and steal it away. St. David's got to be aware of that. They've got to take care of the ball. Not only do they need to score a lot of points, but they have to make some stops. I mean, you can't trade baskets for the last 16 minutes and expect to cut into that big Fort Thomas lead. So the key for St. David is defense. Let your defense turn into offense. Get steals, get turnovers, and turn it into fast breaks. Get the easy baskets on the layup. But easier said than done. Now, if you're Fort Thomas, their coach is probably just saying, tighten it up a little bit. Our threes are falling. Just make sure we take good shots, open shots, and we should be good to go.
Thank you to SSVEC, our presenting sports sponsor, powering our live stream youth sports coverage all year long. SSVEC, serving our community. Thank you to Vista Pros. Today's live sports coverage brought to you by one of our new sponsors in sports, Vista Pros Heating and Cooling, proud supporters of our athletes and the community we call home. Vista Pros, local, reliable, and professional. Seniors helping seniors. Their caregivers are seniors themselves. They show up ready to exceed expectations. Check them out at Southern Arizona, SHS.com. And Desert RV in Wichita City, Jeff Rose and the gang, aiming to build a community that surpasses RVs by giving back through local youth sports sponsorships, veteran support, and community fundraising events. Go to desertrvcenter.com. We're still at the half here. It is a true David and Goliath situation. In this case, St. David and the Goliath
Fort
is
Thomas.
Fort Thomas. And Fort Thomas came into this game the number 1 seed in the 1A tournament, and they've been playing like the 1 seed all tournament long. But St. David has been playing better than their 10 seed. To get this far, they weren't even expected to land in a championship game by being the 10 seed.
No, they've had a great season, and they can be very proud of coming all the way through the tournament into the championship game as a 10 seed. That means you're the lower seed for probably everything but the first game.
Yeah.
And that's a tough road to toe, and they have done a fabulous job getting this far. They running into a buzzsaw tonight, but you're playing for pride. You're still got 16 minutes of basketball left to try to make things happen. As we said before, they're going to have to make some defensive stops. Yes, they're down by a lot of points, but they have to stop the Apaches. You can sit there and score your baskets, and if you don't stop Fort Thomas, you're not going to dig into that deficit. So defense is going to be first and foremost for the Tigers as they start this second half. And, they're going to have to find a way to stop that potent Apache attack. Once the Apaches start hitting their threes, they kind of feed on the adrenaline, on the momentum, and they're a very difficult team to stop.
It's 1A championship boys basketball here in Phoenix, Arizona. Todd Ryan along with Bill McCulloch of 520 Sports. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Stan Greer Millworks, Southeastern Arizona's premier supplier of custom doors and windows with a distinguished history spanning 40 years. With offices in Tucson and in Hereford, discover more at StanGreerMillworks.com. Pass on a legacy with Stan Greer Millworks. At Morse Automotive Group Sierra Vista, stop in today and experience the difference. Cochise County is now backed by Morse. American Southwest Credit Union, fired up to cheer on our hometown athletes, including the St. David Tigers. We believe youth sports build character and the kind of community spirit that makes us proud. At American Southwest Credit Union, your money stays local. Member NCUA, equal opportunity lender. TWN Communications, delivering high-speed, affordable, and reliable internet and digital phone service with no data caps ever. Stay connected with the freedom and performance you deserve. Big reminder here too, Bill, the Doggo Lotto.
Love Doggo Lotto.
Yes, it's the hottest shelter dog game show in the world. And it's right here in Sierra Vista. Pick your lucky numbers for free at coolfmonline.com/Doggo Lotto. Then watch the show every Monday at 6 p.m. on Cool FM Live to see if you won. You can win up to $500 in cash and prizes each week. Over $2,000 in cash and prizes has been given away so far since we started Doggo Lotto. Best thing about it is it's free. You don't have to play, don't have to pay at all. And you can hopefully adopt one of these shelter dogs in the process. And Bill, St. David coming back on to the court.
They got their heads up, so they haven't packed it in for the night. And that's a good sign for the Tigers. A lot of these kids are seniors, and this is going to be their last game ever. Some hopefully maybe we might play at the next level in college, but for a lot of the seniors, this is the last time that they're going to lace up those sneakers and play basketball competitively.
Yep, the final 16 minutes of high school basketball together here in this very prestigious 1A championship game here for the St. David Tigers and the Fort Thomas Apaches. Thank you. I went again to Sonic in Sierra Vista. Wednesdays is Wacky Pack Wednesday. Kids' meals are $2.49. Thursdays is 99-cent corn dogs as well. Duran Plumbing, serving Sierra Vista and Cochise County for residential and commercial plumbing projects for 10-plus years. With a lifetime of experience in the industry, proud supporter of local sports programs and athletes. And a big thank you to the Sherry Ethel team, Long Realty. If you're in the market to buy or sell, place to go is the Sherry Ethel team, located right behind Denny's in Long Realty's office in Sierra Vista. Todd Ryan along with Bill McCulloch of 520 Sports. They're taking their warm-ups right now, and we'll get set to start the second half of play any minute now.
So once again, St. David, the key to this second half is defensive stops. I can't reiterate that enough. They're going to have to find a way to stop that high-powered offense. Now, St. David played a 2-3 zone almost exclusively in the first half. Now, for those of you who may or may not know, a 2-3 zone forces you to shoot the ball from the outside. It packs the paint. They're going to take that inside post away from you. But on the other side, Fort Thomas was hitting the three-pointers. So, once again, the 2-3 zone, a double-edged sword. You're packing the paint, but if the Apaches are going to continue to hit those three-pointers, you may have to go to maybe a 1-3-1 or tighten it up and go man-to-man. St. David might even want to try to press, although Fort Thomas has a lot of good ball handlers, so that may not be the best move. But they're going to have to mix up their defense, Todd, a little bit. I don't think they can stay in the same defense the whole second half.
Big thank you to Eagle Plumbing, providing expert service in Cochise County for over 50 years. Family owned and trusted for everything from leaks to major repairs. They're just one call away. Eagle Plumbing, proud supporters of our local athletes. Copper Queen Community Hospital in Cochise County. Their new physical therapy department now open in Hereford. Make an appointment with one of their doctors of physical therapy today. Grasshopper Landscaping, quality from the ground up. Contact Grasshopper Landscaping for all of your landscaping needs. Visit them on Facebook or Google Grasshopper Landscaping. Ginger's Title Services of Sierra Vista, located at 999 East Fry Boulevard, and now open Saturdays from 9 until 2. Allo Fiber, your new home team internet, TV, and phone provider. Visit allofiber.com, now available in Sierra Vista. Sierra Toyota, they want to buy your car, truck, or SUV. Get your vehicle appraised in 30 minutes or less. No vehicle will be turned away. Sierra Toyota, locally owned, community driven. Barnett's Towing and Barnett's Propane, serving our community since 1963. And Vinny's Pizza, serving our community for over 45 years with a great pizza, wings, and sandwiches. Proud to support our live stream sports coverage here on Cool FM Live.
So the final buzzer ending the warm-ups here at halftime, getting ready to start the third quarter here from the Madhouse on McDowell, the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum, longtime home of the Phoenix Suns. And during halftime, they acknowledged and honored the 2001 Fort Thomas Apache State Championship team. That was a heck of a team, I'll tell you. They had some really good shooters. And Fort Thomas, I believe they said, has won a dozen state championships in 1A for boys basketball. All I know is they didn't win the game. They didn't win the title the year we won it, but that was way back in 1978. So both teams taking the court, and St. David's going to get the ball first at half court as the ball comes in, and over the timeline come the Tigers. Top of the key, he's going to dribble to the right side all the way, put it up. Just off the front of the rim, no good. And the Apaches clean up the rebound. Down court comes Fort Thomas. Over to the top of the key. Little crossover dribble down to the right baseline. Thought about putting it up, decides to drive instead. And jumps it up. Nice defense by St. David. They blocked the ball as he was going up for the drive, causing the jump ball. However, the possession arrow will be in favor of the Apaches. Into the lane. He's going to go to the left elbow, put up a 15-footer, no good. St. David with the rebound. And here come the Tigers. 42-19. No one scored yet here in the third quarter. 7:20 on the clock. St. David puts up a three and way off the mark. And Fort Thomas comes away with the rebound. Down come the Apaches. Sped up the offense, little drive, 12-footer, and no good. Rolled around the rim and off, and the Tigers come away with the rebound. St. David over to the left side off the wing, looking baseline, goes baseline, and back out to the left wing, and up to the top of the key. He's going to drive, a little 14-foot floater up and no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay down with St. David. On this end, 42-19, 6:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Nobody scored. That's not a bad thing for St. David, but they need to put some points on the board. Little inbounds pass, throws up about a 10-footer, but he got fouled on the arm, and he's going to go to the line for two shots. Justin Olivar was the Apache that committed the foul. And the first free throw by the Tigers rolls out around and out. And he'll get one more. So once again, just another thing. You've got to hit free throws when you're this far behind. You want to score without that clock moving. Second free throw is going to be up and in.
Number 13 for that free throw.
Stan Richardson was at the line. No good on the outside shot for the Apaches and cleared away by the Tigers over the timeline. He's at the top of the key, looking for some cutters. Long three-pointer, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Fort Thomas comes away with it. 42-20, here come the Apaches. Three-pointer off the right elbow, and they continue their three-point shot. Hot shooting, and 45-20 are the Apaches' lead. 5:55 left in the third quarter. St. David with a drive down the middle, no good, gets his own rebound, and he's going to be tied up, but the possession arrow will favor St. David. That was Keston Richardson that drove in the middle, put up a shot off the glass, came off hard, got his own rebound, and Fort Thomas tied him up. So St. David taking the ball out underneath their own basket. And stolen away by Fort Thomas. Another unfortunate turnover for the Tigers. And here come the Apaches. Top of the key, he's going to let it fly. And once again, chance a three-pointer for a 48-20 lead. 5.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. St. David, top of the key, looking for some cutters. Now he's going to drive right side, gets cut off by the Apaches. Down to the baseline, puts it up, and scores. So that was a nice drive on the right side by Chase Pacheco. Fort Thomas now dribbling over to the left wing. Now up top, going to swing it over to the top of the key. He's going to drive down the middle, kick it over to the right wing, and once again puts the three up and in for a 51-22 lead. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. St. David on a dribble drive up the right side, up and in. So 51-24 as the Tigers come right back and score. Loose ball, but Fort Thomas remains in control. Ball hits the top of the rim, and a turnaround fadeaway off the offensive rebound. And St. David comes away with the rebound. Coast-to-coast drive off the right side, no good on the shot put up. Ball's going to go out of bounds off the Fort Thomas Apaches, and the Tigers will remain in control underneath their own basket. 51-24 as 4:15 left to go here in the third quarter. Out of bounds play for St. David. They got it down low, a little head fake, puts it up, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line for two shots.
And it's number 13.
So Keston Richardson will go to the line for two shots. The foul was on Damari Docella. First free throw off the front of the rim, no good. He'll get one more. 51-24, a huge lead for the Apaches with 4:12 left to go here in the quarter. Second free throw off the front of the rim as well. Rebounded though by St. David, up and in. In. Boy, that thing was halfway down. Came out. Another rebound by St. David, no good. And finally the Apaches clear the board. So St. David had two great opportunities off that free throw miss and couldn't put it down, although that one ball looked like it was halfway down in the net and came back up.
Just did not want to go in. It tried, but it just didn't go in. Big thank you to SSVEC and all of our sponsors, putting their investment into local youth sports and making this coverage free to you. Stop by at our list of sponsors locations and the businesses that help support us being here with you today, and support all of the sports you love all season long and all year long here on Cool FM Live. Well, Bill, we got a timeout here. St. David still looking to find that magic formula here to see if they can make an incredible comeback. It's not done yet. There's still time to do it, but they got to have baskets go their way, and they got to be able to stop Fort Thomas from scoring those 3-pointers.
Yeah, they picked up right out where they left off in the first half and continued their hot. So as the teams both come back out on the court after a quick timeout, a 30-second timeout. Fort Thomas, once again, the #1 seed, going all the way through the AIA playoffs to reach this championship game. And the Cinderella 10 seed St. David Tigers were the other half of the matchup. So out of the timeout, Fort Thomas with the ball. They're going to have to go the length of the court. Over to the right wing now, back up to the top of the key. Swings it around to the weak side on the right. Right wing 3-pointer off the front of the rim. First one they missed in a while, and St. David comes away with the rebound. 51-24, 3.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Fort Thomas ball hawking the Tigers up the court. 3-pointer from the left wing off the front of the rim, but another rebound by the Tigers. It's going to go out of bounds over to the Apaches. So he had the rebound and lost it out of bounds. And Fort Thomas will get the ball in the backcourt. So a little substitution for Fort Thomas as Elijah Titla comes in for the Apaches. He'll be taking the ball out of bounds. Apaches over the timeline. Just all passing. They haven't even put the ball on the floor yet. Just all 100% passing. There we go. A little dribble. Picks it up after one dribble. 3-pointer off the mark, but a nice offensive rebound. Puts it up and misses. Still gets another chance at it. And Fort Thomas brings it back out front to set it up. Down to the low post. Turnaround jumper from 12. No good. But once again, cleans up the offensive board and puts it back in. 53-24. And this Apache team just is not going away. So a nice drive by Fort Thomas, but once again, the Apache defense steps in, forces a jump ball. They have the possession arrow, and the ball will go back over to the Apaches. Over the timeline, over to the right wing, trying to get it to the left wing, left baseline now. Thought about putting it up, decided not to. Almost stolen by the Tigers. And does put the 3-pointer up with a guy in his face. Oh my word. 3-pointer for Fort Thomas. Michael Olivar. He had the Tiger defender was right in his face, and he still stuck the three. 56-24. 2:11 left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see why Fort Thomas is so dominating and has such dominating scores over their opponents. They just get a lot of 3-pointers.
Yeah, they are definitely hot outside the arc, in this game for sure. St. David underneath their own basket takes the ball out. A quick foul on the inbound pass. So Keston Richardson will take the free throws for the Tigers. First one up and in, 56-25. And he'll get the second shot. Second one, nothing but net. 56-26, down by 30. Here come the Apaches. Right at the elbow, he's going to drive up the gut. No good. Rebound by St. David. And Tigers back on offense. Over the timeline, he's going to go right down the middle and scores, and the foul. Nice drive by Braden Posey. Put the ball up off the glass and trickled in and got the foul as well. So 56-28. And Posey will get the and one for the old-fashioned three-point attempt here. And up and good. Tigers on a 5-0 run here. Let's see what happens. St. David now back in defense as the Apaches cross the timeline. Over to the right baseline, open. He thought he was going to take it, no good. Swings it around to the right elbow and puts the ball up and in for another three-pointer and a 59-29 lead. So just as the Tigers are making a little bit of a move, the Apaches come back and can a three-pointer. 1:25 left to go, 59-29 in favor of Fort Thomas. Three-pointer for St. David.
Oh.
And good, rolled around the rim and put it in. Posey with the three-pointer. St. David trying to get it back in the key. Now over to the right elbow, short off the front of the rim. St. David didn't get the rebound as Fort Thomas wrestled it away from him. And a whistle blows. So a foul on St. David. I couldn't see who that was, but Fort Thomas will keep the ball on their end of the court. As they dribble, keeping it out front, down to the right baseline. Over to the right wing, right baseline. Right wing, they're just playing catch. Three-pointer from the left elbow. Boy, I'll tell you, that was about a 22-foot shot, and he drained it for a 30-point lead, 62-32, with under 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Shot up by St. David, but cleans up the offensive board, puts it back in for the shot, 62-34.
Number 5 for St. David, getting that score.
Chase Pacheco with the nice cleanup on the offensive rebound. Fort Thomas got away with a walk on that one, and another three-pointer by number 31 for the Apaches, Dosala. And that's going to finish it up for the third quarter here with our score. Fort Thomas 65, St. David 34. We got 8 minutes left. Basketball left in this 1A championship game.
Well, a big thank you to Vista Pros, one of our new sports sponsors. Proud to support our athletes' sport coverage. Vista Pros Heating and Cooling. Vista Pros, local, reliable, and professional. Seniors helping seniors. They're caregivers, are seniors themselves. They show up ready to exceed expectations. Check them out at southernarizonaSHS.com. Desert RV in Huachuca City, aiming to build a community that surpasses RVs by giving back through local youth sports sponsorships, veteran support, and community fundraising events. Go to desertrvcenter.com. And a big thank you to Stan Greer Millworks, Southeastern Arizona's premier supplier of custom doors and windows. Go to StanGreerMillworks.com. Pass on a legacy with Stan Greer Millworks. Ed Morse Automotive Group, Sierra Vista. Stop in today and experience the difference. Cochise County is now backed by Morse. And 8 minutes of basketball is left. Bill McCullough, just when St. David, it looked like maybe they were starting to get on a roll, as you were saying, Fort Thomas comes back and gets those pesky three-pointers.
Daggers. Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't have the stats up here, but I think they have at least close to 8 or 10 3-pointers here in this championship game.
It feels like more than that.
It does.
I mean, wow. They have just been on fire, especially with those 3-pointers tonight.
That's a big reason they're the #1 seed. So both teams returning to the court here for the final 8 minutes here. We are so glad you joined us here on Cool FM and also simulcast on 520 Sports Talk in Tucson to watch this 1A state championship game. St. David with the first possession of the fourth quarter. Let's see what they can do. Top of the key and slips it over to the left side. Little weave going on. Almost lost the ball, did lose the ball. And Fort Thomas with a breakaway. And definitely not what St. David needed as Fort Thomas puts away the layup, 67-34. Swarming defense by Fort Thomas. They're all over the place. Nice drive by St. David. Offensive rebound, puts it in. Richardson with the cleanup off the glass for their basket, 67-36. Apaches all alone underneath the basket. Somebody fell asleep, and the Apaches get an uncontested layup to go up 69-36. 7:07 left. Somebody fell asleep on defense on that one, Todd. Little floater from about 10 foot for St. David, number 11. Posey. Braden Posey on that nice shot. That's a really hard shot to hit. A lot of people don't realize how hard those floaters are to hit. Fort Thomas now starting to just run their offense, maybe take a little time off the clock on a little weave. He's going to drive in the middle, kick it out to the left baseline, puts it up for three, and once again hits it. 72-38, so with 6:29 left, Todd, they've already hit their season average of 72 points. St. David turns the ball over again. Here come the Apaches on the run. They were going to push it. They pulled it up. Once again, 3-pointer from the left wing, no good. Tigers with the rebound, and back the other way we go. Posey all the way down the gut. Kicks it off down underneath. Blocked by the Apaches. St. David with a cleanup offensive board and a putback by number 1, Adrian Neuenberger. Fort Thomas with the ball, trying to split the defense, puts it up from the free throw line, in and out. St. David with the rebound, almost lost it. And here come the Tigers over the timeline. Paul, it passed behind, a nice recovery, finds a wide open shot. Oh, wide open layup, and he missed it. Fort Thomas now with the ball, just walking it up the court. 5:21 left to go here in this one. Fort Thomas drives the left baseline, kicks it out to the left wing. There goes the three-point shot, up and in. 75-40, Apaches. Oh my, those three-pointers. St. David, I thought they were going to try a three-pointer from the baseline, get it down to the low post, kick it back out for a 12-footer off the front of the rim, no good. Tigers with the offensive board. Ball trickles out of bounds, and it's going to be over to the Apaches. So, Todd, with such a big lead, the rules dictate that the clock will continue to run, barring a timeout or a free throw.
Okay, that's it.
Maybe not even free throws, but a timeout, I think, is the only thing that will stop the clock. We're under 4.5 minutes here left to go in the Coliseum. Fort Thomas into the low post, now brings it back outside. They said, I don't want to shoot a three-footer, I'd rather shoot a three-pointer. Aaron pass goes out of bounds and over to the Tigers. 4:08 left to go on the clock. Clock is running as the Tigers bring the ball up very methodically. I think they need to kind of kick it into high gear. I mean, they are down by 35, but you still got to play ball. Bad pass again and over to the Apaches. Drive in the middle of the lane, and he's going to be tripped up by one of the Tiger players.
You know, it almost sounds like the entire town of Fort Thomas is here tonight.
I would not be surprised.
They have
a
a
big game.
yeah, they have a loud fan base
Yes,
here
they do.
tonight.
Yes, they do.
Are they very far away from Phoenix, Bill?
They're just north of the Safford turnoff off the 10. You'll go through Pima, then hit Fort Thomas, and then a little ways up you'll hit Safford.
Okay,
In
gotcha.
Graham County.
Thank you to American Southwest Credit Union. Fired up to cheer on our hometown athletes. We believe youth sports build character in the Canada community spirit that makes us proud. At American Southwest Credit Union, your money stays local. Member NCUA, equal opportunity lender. TWN Communications delivering high-speed, affordable, and reliable internet and digital phone service with no data caps ever. Stay connected with the freedom and performance you deserve. Prestige Remodeling and Restoration LLC, Sierra Vista, pioneering a visionary approach of customer-centric service. Visit them at prestigesierravista.com. Sonic of Sierra Vista. Wednesdays is Wacky Pack Wednesday. Kids' meals are $2.49, and Thursdays is 99-cent corn dog days. Duran Plumbing, serving Sierra Vista and Cochise County for residential and commercial plumbing projects for 10-plus years. With a lifetime of experience in the industry, proud supporter of local sports programs and athletes. Thank you so much to Duran Plumbing. Well, it's a running clock now, Bill.
Yeah, the pain will be over shortly, and I'll tell you, this Fort Thomas Apache team is everything that they've cracked up to be. What a performance by the Apaches, especially beyond the three-point line. So back to live action. Apaches take the ball out underneath their own basket, go out top on the left side. Fort Thomas playing tough man-to-man now. Out of the zone. Way long three-pointer, in and out. Boy, he didn't miss that by much, and he shot it from about 30 feet away. Tigers with the ball, bringing it up over to the right wing. He's going to take a couple dribbles, going up and under on a running layup, no good. Tigers with the rebound, put it up and in. So nice shot by St. David. Chase Pacheco on that last basket. As the Tigers have, or excuse me, the Apaches have their second stringers in now, giving them a little bit of state championship basketball time. And that's a great move by their coach. 75-42, under 3 minutes left to go. And one of the reserves, number 15, with a little 2-foot shot.
It's like the
Eckelbaugh.
Yeah, the Apaches just can't seem to miss a basket.
No, not at all. Yeah, their shooting percentage is incredibly high. Missed by the Tigers, and back come the Apaches. 2.5 minutes left to go. You're going to pick it over to the left side. Almost lost the ball. Another three-pointer. That's off the mark. Those reserves, they want to get their name in the book under those threes, too. Tigers with the ball on the right wing, and the whistle blows. And a timeout by the Tigers with 2:16 left to go in the ball game. 77-42 in favor of the Apaches. And like we said many times during the broadcast, just what an excellent team from Fort Thomas. And, you know, Todd, I don't think anybody's going to beat these guys tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the last opponent they faced, they won by 50-some points.
Right.
So you knew that they were going to be tough to beat coming into this game.
Yes, they are. Very big, very good, very consistent basketball tradition at Fort Thomas. Like I said, all the way back to when I played, they were a tough out, I'll tell you. They pressed us the whole game and just took our legs out from under us. Three-pointer by St. David, no good. Long rebound for the Apaches, and down the court they got. They've got numbers, 3-on-2. Three-pointer from the right baseline, off the mark. Offensive board to the Apaches as the whistle blows. Reserves in all 5 positions for Fort Thomas, and they're still flinging up those threes.
I'd like to know what the record is for three-pointers in a championship game for 1A basketball.
Well, they said the guy at halftime hit 10 in the 2001 Fort Thomas team. So that's 30 points just off three-pointers.
Yeah.
St. David trying to get a shot up. A lot of dribbling. Up and under from about 16. It rolls around the rim and off. St. David with the offensive rebound, puts it up and misses an easy one-footer. St. David once again gets the offensive rebound and is fouled. Vincent Ciccarello got that last offensive board, a non-shooting foul, so St. David will take it out underneath their own basket. Exactly 1 minute left to go here in the game. Just a quick inbounds pass, puts it up and in. And 77-44. Caden Richens was the person to put that last bucket in on the inbounds pass. So 50 seconds left, 33-point lead, 77-34, or 44. Whistle blows, let's see what they did. Okay, so looks like Fort Thomas will get the ball underneath their own basket. Pass out top, dribbles. Three-pointer from the right wing, off the mark, air ball. Tigers come away with the rebound, pushing it hard up court. High post. He's gonna put the ball up and is fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Foul is on Stanley, and Richens will get 2 shots here with 29 seconds left. 77-44, drawing to the waning seconds of the state championship game. Richens puts in the first one, 77-45. Tigers still playing hard. And second shot off the mark. Fort Thomas with the rebound, pushing the ball up the right side. 44 wants to take a shot, didn't. Over to the wing, blocked by the Tigers. Here they come on the run. Oh, stolen back away by the Apaches for an uncontested layup. Misses it. Tigers with the ball. Scramble for the ball. Tigers come out with it. Long pass down court off the fingertips of St. David. Jackson Grogan had the ball go off his fingertip. And that's the end of the game with the 1A state championship for the state of Arizona. The Fort Thomas Apaches, want to say congratulations to them. They played a whale of a game and win 77-45.
Well, Bill, want to thank a few more sponsors before we close out the broadcast. Eagle Plumbing, providing expert service in Cochise County for over 50 years. Copper Queen Community Hospital with their new physical therapy unit located in Hereford. A big thank you to Grasshopper Landscaping, quality from the ground up. Ginger's Title Services of Sierra Vista. Aloe Fiber, now available in Sierra Vista. Sierra Toyota, locally owned, community driven. Burnett's Towing and Burnett's Propane, serving our community since 1963. Vinny's Pizza of Sierra Vista, thank you so much for your support. Prestige Remodeling, TW and Communications, American Southwest Credit Union, Ed Moore's Automotive Group, Stan Greer Millworks, Desert RV of Huachuca City, Seniors Helping Seniors, Vista Pros Heating and Cooling, and our presenting sports sponsor, SSVEC, serving our community. And the champions in 1A Arizona boys basketball are Fort Thomas Apaches. The trophy will be given here shortly. Second place trophy going to our St. David Tigers.
I'll tell you, boys, Fort Thomas was everything that I was told about. They have such a fantastic team, well coached, kids played really well, and I'll tell you, I've never seen that many three-pointers fall in a game.
I wish we could get that statistic before the end of our broadcast. Because you're right. I don't think I've ever seen so many three-pointers in a game.
No, that was fantastic.
At least high school basketball.
Just an incredible effort by the Apaches. And, you know, hats off to the St. David Tigers. They played their hearts out. They just ran into a buzzsaw tonight. And as we mentioned before, I don't think there was anybody that was going to take down the Apaches in tonight's game. But a great season for St. David. Nothing to be ashamed of, especially in lieu of their number 10 seed and driving all the way through the playoffs to reach the final game.
Oh, yeah, they surprised so many people with this 10th seed and winning game after game after game to get here to this spot here this afternoon at Veteran Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona for this championship game. So you got to give the boys a lot of credit.
Because they played their hearts out, and they have nothing to be ashamed of. They left everything out on the court. And I'll tell you, being state runners-up is that's quite an honor, too. I mean, look how many teams you have to beat to be the second-place team in the state.
And this was, it appears anyway, a very special Fort Thomas team in 2025, 2026. Because they just dominated their way all through the playoffs.
Yeah, after it was 9-9 in the first quarter, it was a wrap after that, basically. So Fort Thomas coming up to get their trophies.
Apaches, the 1A Boys State, Arizona State Championship winners today here in Phoenix, Arizona. Happy moment for them for sure.
State champions 1A, the Fort Thomas Apaches from the Fort Apache Indian Reservation.
Okay.
So very, very proud. I'm sure the Fort Apache Nation is very, very proud of these young student athletes bringing home the title in such a convincing win. Just an incredible effort by the Apaches, their coaching staff, the kids. But don't forget the support that they have, not only from the parents, the school, but also the nation. So we want to say congratulations once again.
Well, Bill, that will wrap it up for our coverage here today in Phoenix, Arizona. Bill, you're going to join me tomorrow on Saturday as we cover Sierra Vista Special Olympics basketball. The Sierra Vista Cochise County Special Olympics team has made it to the state tournament for Special Olympics. And we'll have game coverage tomorrow here on Cool FM.
What time is that going to be?
Got to get the times yet.
They still got to get the time. So stay close to Cool FM. We'll let you know These are the same kids that we saw a few months ago playing for the softball tournament, and they finished third in the Special Olympics, which is incredible. That was great. The kids are going to go out and play their hearts out. Such a great group of young people and older people that just go out and play it for the love of the game, and that's what sports is all about, is play it for the love of the game, and don't worry about stats, don't worry about special recognition by this player or that player. Just go out and have fun and see where it takes you, and that's where we're going to be tomorrow in Mesa from the Mesa Athletic Complex over by Gateway Airport on Saturday. And I'm honored to be a part of it, as I was for the softball coverage. And let's wind it up and do it again.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us. For Bill McCulloch of 520 Sports, I'm Tom Ryan with Cool FM Live. Have yourselves a great rest of your Friday. Stay safe out there and have a great rest of your weekend.